everybody. Hey, Jen.
Hi, Lauren. How are you?
Good. How have you been? It's been a month.
I know it doesn't seem that long.
I know. Not that we don't talk every day, but I mean, it's been a month since we've
Oh
we've
yeah.
done this. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tomato Talk Live. I'm Lauren.
I'm Jen. Nice to
Jen.
have you with us tonight. I'm
It
super
is.
excited as always. I'm like, I can't think. I'm so excited.
Jen and I would just keep talking and not realize it's 7 o'clock. Well, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's, with all of you too. We like to talk tomatoes. So we started a show a couple months ago, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We did. We have a great show for you tonight. No guest. We're the special guests, but we've got a lot to share with you. What are we going to do, Jen? What are we doing tonight?
Lots of things. We're going to share our top 10 tomatoes of the year. Mine are just slicers. I don't know about you.
Not necessarily.
Okay, mine are just slicers. That's all I could get to. I'm sorry. What else are we going to do? We are going to have a giveaway.
Yep.
And we're going to share some of our epic wins and our epic fails, things lessons learned in 2023.
Yes, and things we're going to carry over.
The next
if
year.
You haven't joined us before, welcome. We come to you live because we like to be interactive with you guys. We want to talk with you all. So, for example, we try to put as many, hey, Nicole Smith Gardening. Nice to have you here. So we try to get as many comments on the screen as possible. And, we know you guys love to talk tomatoes. If you didn't love to talk tomatoes, you wouldn't be here on a Friday night talking tomatoes with us.
Nothing better to do on a Friday night than talk about tomatoes.
I know. Jen has a YouTube channel, which you may be watching on, Jen Joy. And my YouTube channel is Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. I'm the Mrs. Before we get started with all the good stuff, we wanted to start by honoring somebody who we learned of his passing this week, who was a giant in the in the tomato world. Fred Hempel of Artisan Seeds passed on Halloween, October 31st. We learned just a few days ago. And he was a really influential breeder in the world of tomatoes. I heard about him. I had heard of him for years, of course, because I love tomatoes, and you learn about the breeders that create these wonderful creations. But I heard him on this podcast. And if you're in our group, Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, I shared a link to the podcast the other day. It was in March. I forget the name of the podcast now. I know it was put out through Never Sink Farms, or maybe they're a sponsor, but his interview made me fall in love with him and what he does. He creates or created all kinds of wonderful varieties, but he also had a passion for creating he wanted to create tomatoes that stood up to transport and all that looked like heirloom tomatoes, that tasted like heirloom tomatoes, but that farm stands and commercial growers or commercial sellers could sell. So Benevento is one that I grew of his this year, which I'll show a picture of a bit later. That was spectacular, and he just seemed very humble. He just really seemed to love what he did. Jen, what are some of the other varieties? I know we talked about him.
The bumblebees. He created my beloved bumblebees. My husband loves the bumblebees, all of them that I've ever grown. He also created one called Blush. Again, gorgeous tomato, pink jazz, orange jazz. I love all of those. I've grown them all.
I've started, if you're a member of our group, Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, or TLC, I've started, you may know, I compile lists of tomato breeders. So we have it as if you're a collector or you're just curious, I've started compiling a list of Freds. We've already mentioned many of them, but Blush, as you said, Jen, the Beneventos, Lucky Bee. This is just one page. There's 2 pages here. It's a newer one.
Tiger as well.
Yep, Pink Tiger. I know I'm missing a lot. His website's now down, I guess, as his family tries to figure out how to move forward with Artisan Seeds. I wanted to show a picture of Benevento actually ended up to be, spoiler alert, one of my favorites of the year. Here's Benevento, which is an F1. It really, like, I wasn't really expecting much. Skin was a little bit tough, but I understand it has to be for what he was trying to do with the transport. But boy, was that a delicious tomato. And if you were to see that in a grocery store, wouldn't you want to buy it versus, everything else they sell in the grocery stores? Um,
Mhm.
I know I would. So he will be missed. He left a handprint on the heart in the industry of tomatoes. So Fred, we honor you tonight, and we're going to give away some of his seeds at the end of the show. We're actually giving away 5 prizes tonight. We've actually had a donation from a very generous viewer who wanted to give away some of his seeds as well. So Fred, you will be missed. And if any of you, Cheryl is waiting. Cheryl says blush. Yep. Yeah. If anybody has a favorite of Fred's that they'd like to share, please do so. I'm going to get rid of our little banner here because it's in the way of our members' comments. So, yeah, there we go. So, how's the end of the season been for you? I mean, it's over. It's been over for me for quite a while. It went with a bang
Everything
and then it ended.
everything froze last week.
Did it
we
freeze?
got we got like a hard freeze. It was like
Did-
23, 24 degrees. So I was like covering up my lettuce and my what in my what are they called? I just did a video of it. What is it?
Green stalk?
No, not well. I did cover my green stalks. My rain gutters. I have rain gutters on the side of my house that I have
Neat.
lettuce in. Yeah, and so I had to cover them with plastic because they would have. That's pretty. That's a hard freeze. So, but
Yeah.
everything looks really dead, and
Yeah.
I haven't cleaned any of it up, but I'll get to it eventually.
It's a good episode to share about like our kind of thoughts about the season as a whole and epic wins and fails. I'm kind of going backwards here. I wanted to share, if you're not a member of our group, we would love to have you. It's called Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap on Facebook. It's a really special place, if I do say myself. So
Super
say
fun.
so myself, right, Jen?
Oh yeah, it's so great. There's so much interaction. It's incredible.
Yeah.
There's other groups that are kind of like very quiet, and ours is like constantly active. I love it.
Yeah, and people are so kind and generous and willing to help each other out. I really love that. For the most part, tomato people are really generous people.
Yes.
We also have something special we started on November 1st called Micropalooza.
I did start. I know I haven't entered. Oh my gosh, I'm such a loser.
That's all right.
But
ooh,
Black!
Yes. Speaking of which, we want to thank Michael Kelly, our guest from last month, who shared with us about hydroponic growing of microdwarf tomatoes, which was
I wouldn't have
super
done that without you, Michael.
Yeah, I did one too. Nothing germinated yet, but so this is the Micropalooza. What's that?
Yours hasn't germinated yet.
You're as buggy as I am.
I know. There's a name. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I have one that I started on November 1st and one that I just started yesterday. And
okay.
The one from November 1st hasn't germinated yet, but I'm sure it's user error. Nothing that Michael taught. But anyway, it was a great episode. Thanks, Michael, for joining us.
So awesome. I felt so confident.
Micropalooza is just something fun we're doing in the group, is a grow along for us. And I'm logging everybody's varieties, and I'm going to share, what the most popular ones are. But I haven't tallied them up yet. I think we have 75 people entered so far who are growing microdwarfs indoors. Some are growing more than me, like 30 maybe varieties. I would venture to guess we're growing, as a collective, we're growing hundreds of varieties. So it's a lot of fun. It is not too late to enter if you want to enter.
Yeah, I hope not, because I haven't actually entered yet. What an embarrassment I am to your group. No, I'm kidding.
It's our group.
Our group, okay.
Also, before we get started on our wrap up of the season, I want to share some of our user tomato pictures.
Yes, I want to see.
As always, I have every intention of showing all of them, and then I just don't have time. So I chose a few, and thank you all for submitting your photos. This is from
I'm gonna grow that next year.
Jennifer Bella. She has an Etsy site called Head to My Toes in Canada, Beauty King and P20. That is a beauty. Thank you, Jennifer. From Azir Hussein, I love this picture. He says
that's
this is
eye candy right there.
Yellow. It is. It's like tomato porn.
It really is. Like,
I could stare at tomato pictures all day long.
I could too. It. You could call it weird, but I like it.
Yeah, it is. He says yellow pear Annie, black cherry glitter, and then small red. And he did write in the comments why it's small red. He named it that, and I forget why. But anyway, it's a beautiful picture. Thank you, Azir.
I need to get the one called glitter because that sounds great.
Just for the name. I know. Sometimes the names get me. This is a great one by Cindy C. of Scene's Garden. She's in the Philippines, and I think I saw her. Yep, there she is. There she is. So glad you're here, Cindy. Beautiful picture. And I keep forgetting this too. For our giveaways, you to enter, all you have to do is during the broadcast tonight, type in the comments #tomatoes. Make sure you spell it right or the program won't pick you up. #tomatoes anywhere, between now and the end of the episode, and you will get entered for the drawing. So yeah, that's a really cool picture of Cindy and her Garden of Eden. This was too good to pass up to by Hope Foster.
That's a naughty tomato.
She wasn't sure of the variety of this one, but just had to. You gotta love it. Kim Lund submitted. This is Carol Chyko's Big Paste Black.
Ooh.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Haley Sizemore sample. This is, I think she said Cherokee Green's her favorite, and next to Big Rainbow. I grew Cherokee Green this year too. It was great. Grace Cheng, Thorburns Terracotta. Beautiful pictures of that. I grew that last year and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Jenna Card's got pineapple.
Those are gorgeous tomatoes.
They are.
So tasty too.
Otherwise known as ananas, another name for pineapple.
Yeah.
Oop, just gave something away. All right, I think that's it for our.
That's what you got to, huh?
That's it for our.
I bet I know what that one is.
Can't even imagine. So, what do you guys want to hear first? You want to hear our top 10, or you want to hear our lessons learned? I should have asked you that earlier. Amanda says that one is so funny. I can guess which picture she's talking about. We've got Olivia's here from the Gold Coast, Australia. Excellent. Michael's
10. Everybody's like top 10.
Top 10. I had a feeling. I wanted to save it for the end to keep you watching, but I know you're going to be watching anyway. Michael says, woohoo, happy you guys are trying it regarding the hydroponics.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Oh, Amanda Pittman's from Montana. Awesome. All right, let's do our top 10. Top 10. Oh, somebody said lessons. I think it looks like top 10's. Oh, it's kind of even.
I don't know. It's getting to be a tie there. I don't know.
All right. Jen, do you want to go first with your top 10? I know she's been frantically filming her video of her top 25.
Oh my gosh, I'm doing my video of you're gonna laugh. Top 25 slicers of 2023. So I narrowed it down to 25 because I had like 35, and I was like, but then like Lauren asked me to you want to do your top 10, and I was like, oh, okay.
And you said no, and I was okay with that. I figured I'll do mine this month. You can do yours next month.
Oh no, I wanted to be a part of it too. I knew I could do it, but I've been like staring at the phone all day long editing that video, and I still didn't get it up, but I was able to do my top 10. How do you want to go about this? Were you gonna I wasn't going to really say a whole lot about them, just real quickly run down.
I'll try not to say too much about mine, but it's kind of hard. I love them so much.
I can do this. Because I'm tired of hearing about my top 10.
We could alternate. You can do one. I can do one if you want.
Okay, let's do that. All right. So for number 10, I guess I'll go 10 down. And the only two that are in order, of the greatness, are the last two. The other ones are just threw in there. So
yeah, I'm not sure I necessarily ranked mine, but
right, I ranked mine. Yeah. The last two are my favorites, so we'll just say that. But starting at 10, number 10 was Pineapple Pig.
Really?
Yeah, for like a white yellow tomato, it was really good. That's why I
Yeah,
picked that
okay.
one.
That's a good one.
And
I have
I believe that's a Brad Gates variety.
yes, it is. I have seeds
I
for it.
love his varieties.
Yeah, I'm
I
hoping
think there's like 3 or 4.
he's got except for Golden Hour. Golden Hour the micro. You did not love Golden Hour.
Oh no, that was nasty. He made
You
he
don't
created
you don't
that?
love all his varieties.
No, not micros, I guess.
And he's got a couple
Oh,
he's
that's so
got
just
4 new
oh
ones coming
Brad,
out.
you're gonna have to work on that.
Well, he's got 4 new ones coming out, I think November
Okay,
18th.
maybe he did.
So I'm hoping perhaps I'm sure he's an avid watcher and perhaps he saw us talking about Golden Hour and he upped his game. I don't know.
Oh, I hope you're just joking.
I am joking. I'm sure he doesn't watch it.
I mean, I'd love for him to watch, but my gosh, after that,
I mean, we are pretty influential, tomato girls, but no, I'm excited. I'll grow any micro because I'm a micro
it
fanatic.
can taste like a wet paper towel. I'll still probably grow it again, even though I don't want to eat it.
Same. It was
just won't
beautiful.
look at it.
It was beautiful.
I'll just give them away and won't tell people they taste like a wet paper towel.
All right, so I'm gonna add this was one of my most anticipated. Jarson 18 version 3 because there are different versions. I'm as obsessed with Jarsons as micros, probably more. I was obsessed with this because Jarson the breeder, that's not his real name, it's a longer name, but this was a cross between my number 1 favorite Malachita Vyashkatulka. I know you love when I say that, Jen. I sound very Russian.
It's just lovely.
Malachite box and Copia. And these were huge. They were beautiful greens. You're going to see in my list. I love green when ripe. And this was great. It didn't end up in my top 3, but it was really great. There's another Jarson that was actually better that I wasn't expecting. So, but I highly recommend this. It was a great variety. This was, I think, the biggest tomato we grew this year. As you can see, it was the size of my head. So there you go.
That's a big boy.
It's a big tomato.
All right, number 9 was Rusted Soul for me.
Rusted Soul.
Gorgeous. The reason why I picked that was because it was such a surprise in the flavor as well as the looks. Like when I first I thought, I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but it was just fantastic.
You did a review video on that, and then all of a sudden in the group, it was on everybody's wish list. I have seeds. I have not grown.
Everybody should get them.
Yeah.
It's a good tomato.
It's a beautiful tomato.
It's gorgeous. It's like the outside is so different from the inside. It's one of those ones that you're just like, when you slice it, you're like, oh.
It was like a terracotta. I should try to look it up. We're gonna take.
It's like a rust brown. It's hard to describe. Really pretty outside, but then when you cut it open, it's like green with like red, like bright green with like red running through it. Really pretty.
I think I've got it.
I got my seeds from Tomato Galaxy, I believe.
Here it is. That's beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. All right.
But that doesn't show the inside, so that's only half of the beauty. That's only half.
Well, you're gonna have to watch.
Well, yeah, all of these are going to be on my top 25 video, and I talk a little bit more about them, and I tell you where you can get the seeds and the information about them. We only have an hour here, people,
and it goes fast. Yeah. I incorporated dwarfs into mine. This was a very unexpected one. Dwarf Wild Thread was really, really good.
Yes.
Production wasn't the greatest, which is why I'm showing kind of a sorry little guy here. But man, that was really, really flavorful. This was the first year I grew a lot of dwarfs, and I've got 3 actually in my top 10. I may have actually snuck in 11. But this was a really tasty tomato. Highly recommend Dwarf Wild Thread.
Yep, my husband liked that one a lot.
Yeah.
That was one of the dwarfs that I started inside accidentally, thinking it was a micro,
right?
And then had to take it out to my greenhouse and save its life. And I thought it was a pretty good producer for me. I mean, it kept producing up until like that really hard freeze in my greenhouse.
Really?
Yeah. So
Yeah, for
maybe
me,
it's a greenhouse loving kind of tomato. I don't know,
maybe.
because it was hot as hell in there some days, and it still did good.
Michael A
Number.
says rusted soul. That's a beauty. Love the color. And Kristen says y'all must grow Jade Beauty, a delicious
Oh,
green dwarf.
I have that one.
Yeah.
I traded
Oh,
seeds for
and
that one.
just so you know, Nicole gives us permission to go 2 or 3 hours. That's good.
God, I love you, Nicole. You're just
Me
like
too.
us. Just want to hang out and talk about plants and tomatoes and everything.
Nice words
All right.
from Sherva. I'm so glad you guys started this group. It's so much fun and engaging. Thanks, Sherva. Thanks for being a part of it.
Did you see her earlier comment? She said that she just joined and she just said top 10 because everybody else was doing it.
She didn't know what we were asking.
She's like, I was like, I giggled a little. Okay, so are we on to number 8?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay,
whatever.
8. Black Milo.
Black Milo.
Black Milo. I think I got these seeds when I went to that seed swap back in April.
Milo?
Yes. And it is one of those tomatoes. It's a darker colored tomato, really big slicer. It's got that umami flavor. Some of those darker tomatoes, they almost feel and taste like steak. That's one of those.
I can't even, I'm really good at tomato research. I cannot find this.
I got this from Granddad's Barnyard Farm. That's the vendor that was there.
Oh, okay.
And he was really cool.
Well, now you guys are going to have to join Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap because Jen's
it was a seed giver. I saved a ton of seeds. I think I've got 2 things full of seeds.
Add that to my wish list, my friend. I need that.
All right, you got it.
If I can't find it on the internet, I need it.
It's delicious. It's like eating, like I compare it to like if your tomato, you had a slice of tomato and a steak beside it and all the steak juices ran over onto your tomato.
Yeah.
It's a very unique, lovely, lovely flavor.
I guarantee. So tomorrow is Seed Seeking Saturday in TLC. You know how many people are going to be wishing for, you're going to be a busy girl. You're going to be a busy girl. In fact, I think all of these we're sharing tonight.
Yeah, they're going to be asking, can we put more than 5?
Nicole says, thank you for the 18th 3 seeds. Lauren can't wait to try. Well, it's the least I could do when you waited 3 months for your prizes, but I'm all caught up now, just about. There's a couple people I haven't hit yet, but just about caught up. My next one is sort of controversial. Cherokee purple bicolor. Didn't know there was a Cherokee purple bicolor. I got this from Delectation of Tomatoes. It was billed, and I don't think it's anywhere else. And I meant to pull this up, but his listing says that it was a mutation from Cherokee purple. It happened with a big vendor. They're not sure where the mutation happened, mixed up or whatever. I will tell you that it was delicious. I think I liked it even better than regular Cherokee purple. I don't think it was.
Wow, really?
It was gorgeous, delicious. But if you Google Cherokee purple bicolor, I believe it's only going to take you to Delectation of Tomatoes. So I saved a lot of seeds. I've been giving out a lot of seeds, but this was great. It was suggested that it's possibly something else that looks like this. And look, I haven't tried all the tomatoes out there. I'm working on it. But
me too.
I like things like, I don't have time to mess around. I like intense flavor. Life is too short for crappy tomatoes. We say that all the time, right, Jen?
Yes.
This was really excellent. Really excellent. Cherokee purple did not make my top 10 this year, but this one did.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah.
Cherokee purple is a fan favorite. Everybody that you talk to is like, Cherokee purple is my favorite.
It's great.
Well, you need to try a few more because
it's
a good one, but there's better.
It's been in my top 10 every year. It's just I had so many other good ones this year that it got nudged out, but it's a classic for a reason as far as I'm concerned. It's really great.
All right, number 7.
I swear, I always have my hair appointments after Tomato Talk Live. I have to get my real blonde put back in. Get rid of this gray that's not supposed to be there. Okay, I digress. So go ahead, Jen. Sorry.
Right. Number 7 was, I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce this right. Probably not because I suck at pronunciation, but Burka's Blue,
Oh, I've heard of that one. Is that BYR?
KAS, yeah. And it's got variegated foliage. That's why it made the top 10.
Oh,
I mean, it tastes good too, and it was a good tomato, but I had to pick 10. So I was just like, that one's got variegated foliage. That one's got to go in there.
and
Because,
Kina, our other moderator and a good friend, she loves the variegated.
yeah, I traded seeds. I gave her seeds for Burka's Blue.
This is beautiful. Oh, you did?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is beautiful.
It was on our wish list, so.
Really
It's a good tomato. It's a good tomato as well as the plant's pretty. Because who
Yeah.
doesn't love variegated foliage? I mean,
You know, I just grew my first variegated foliage just this season, believe it or not. Because my mindset was always like, I don't care what the foliage looks like. I want it to taste good. But sometimes, you know,
it's fun to play
it's
around
fun.
with the garden, like the furry ones.
Yes. That was another one I had never grown until this year. I had no use for fuzzy tomatoes or foliage, but it was fun.
Oh, there's some good ones. You just got to find them.
Yep. This next one is, I don't think we have time for the story of how I came to grow it, but now I'm so glad I did Karma Miracle by Karen Olivier, otherwise known as Northern Gardener. This one, well, I'll just tell you really quickly if I can. I have a variety called Banana Noir, which may or may not be in the top 3. It was suggested to me a few years ago when I started showing pictures to people that it looked like Karma Miracle. And so I looked up Karma Miracle. It does. It looks very similar, same size, different flavor. Karma Miracle was, wow, what a power punch of flavor. It was one of my earliest to ripen and last to go on. Production was insane. It's got a lot of seeds and goo. You know, I love that, Jen. I'm big on the seeds and goo. And it was just fantastic. Really, if you like intense flavor, or I think it's Darla Pittman said loud flavor. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
Or slap you in the face flavor.
Yes. Karma Miracle's a great one. I haven't tried I grew Karma Purple, but Karen Olivia thinks I didn't grow the correct Karma Purple. She gave me seeds from her collection. These bugs. All worth it for the micro dwarfs, don't get me wrong. But this was a great, beautiful, good shelf life. I just loved everything about Karma Miracle. So that deserves a spot in the top 10.
All right. Number 6 on mine is Girl Weird Thing.
I grew that. You loved it that much, huh?
It lived up to the hype, I think so.
Okay.
Yes. I really liked it. It was a good flavor, a little bit complex, but it made it in my top 10.
Yeah, we really liked it, and they were huge, right?
Mine weren't huge.
No?
Mine were, I would say, medium. Yeah, medium. I guess compared to other ones I grew. I mean, it was a large slicer. It was not like, anywhere near a saladette, but
right.
I think where my plant was placed wasn't great. There's a few of them that I think would have done better had they been placed in a different spot. Because where my garden, because that one was in my garden. And down at the bottom is where that one was placed. And it gets shaded quite a bit. Like it starts getting shaded because of the big trees in the neighbor's yard at like 3:00.
Okay.
So I think it just needed more sun, and it probably would have done better.
Ours were huge. And we liked it too. It didn't make my top 10, but it was really, really good. I'm trying to see if I have a photo of it. It's a beautiful tomato.
It's gorgeous. Yes.
I tend to like the striped ones and purples. And so it checked all the boxes as far as that.
Yeah, I think it was last year when I first joined any kind of Facebook group, like tomato group. Everybody was talking about it. And I was like, girl, weird thing on it. And then I traded with someone and they had that on their trade list. And I was like, I'm going to get that and try that because everybody seems to want to grow it.
And it's named after the breeder's dog.
Yeah. Girl. That's her dog's name. Girl.
I don't know why I can't pull up the picture, but I can pull it up on the internet here. Hang on.
I said if I ever grow a tomato in one of my taste test videos that I was going to name it Pup because that was my first dog's name, Pup. I named the dog when I was 2. That's all I got out. Pup.
We had a cat named Kitty. Yeah, it's a beautiful tomato. Ours were absolutely humongous, and it kept going all season long. Yeah, and I loved the name too, I
Yeah,
wanted
the
to see
name's
it got the
awesome.
hype. Yeah.
I like how it got its name
Um,
too.
the dog, Pup, that's the next tomato.
Yeah, if I ever learn to breed them, you're gonna have to teach me your ways.
Hey, look, first of all, my one main variety was an accidental cross, and the one I'm trying to do, it's a hot mess.
Supposedly
Someday,
it's
if I
pretty hard.
ever
So.
successfully breed myself, I will let you know.
Awesome.
Where to go? All right, the next one's another dwarf. This was my favorite dwarf. Dwarf awesome,
Oh,
for lack
it's
of
got
a
a good
better
name.
word, was awesome. It was incredible. It's amazing, and I'm not huge on yellows and oranges. I
That
do
looks
like
green on the
tri-colored.
inside.
What's that?
Is that green on the inside?
No, it does kind of have that hue, you're right, but no, it was
Okay.
just, yellow gold with red veining. What a delicious tomato. And is it Lena from Jersey Tomato Girl? Is that her name on Instagram? Anyway, she loved this one too. Um, this was my favorite dwarf of the year. It was fantastic.
I have seeds for that. That's going to go in my must grow next year then.
It is a must grow. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Oh, since the name. Number 5 on my list was Kazula 179.
Kazula 179.
I had to
Tried
have a
that one.
Kazula in my top 10. I am a huge fan of the Kazulas. There weren't very many that they were all good, but most of them, like you said, just slap you in the face with flavor. Like they were just good. So that one was the one that made the top 10. It was gorgeous, beautiful large slicers, meaty. They were just. Me and my husband both loved them. Every time we put one in our mouth. And then at the end of the taste test videos, when there was a Kazula in the lineup, we were just like, let's do that one first.
The only Kazula I did this year was 24, and it was very good.
Really?
This one sounds good. This is, for those of you that may not know, Kazula is a female breeder from Poland, and she names all of hers. Really, she's very.
Yeah, her nickname
breeder.
is Kazula, which I believe means or translates to scientist.
I did not know that.
I think so. Don't quote me.
Interesting.
But that's her nickname, Kazula.
Yeah, she just puts numbers after them, kind of like Jarson, my favorite Jarson.
Keep it simple. And I like that because then you know who made it. Like you're just like, oh, Kazula, that's Anna Jankowski.
Yep. But that's why, like in the group yesterday, I put a list of all the crosses of Jarson, because it does help to know, like, this one's crossed with Malachite Box and Cherokee.
And I saw in that list some of those Jarsons were crosses with different Kazulas.
I know. I wonder if they're friends. Hi, Goddess Isa. Glad you could join us. If you're joining us late, we are giving away. We may not get to our epic fails and wins of the year, but we'll see. If
we got to give the people what they want.
A 5-hour show. A 5-hour show. Hashtag tomatoes in the comments anytime during the broadcast, and we're giving away 5 prizes tonight of Fred Hempel varieties. So who did you just go? Is it my turn?
Yeah, Kazula 179. Okay. It's you're up.
I've got another dwarf, Purple Rain. This was one that I had in something called a Cozy Coats. Actually, I grew 2 Purple Rains. Cozy Coats are these, or wall of waters, they're also known as, are these gizmos that you fill up with water. Jen, I know you did a video on it too. I did one for my YouTube channel as well. You fill it with water, and they have like a greenhouse effect. They say you can plant tomatoes up to 2 months early outdoors. So I did get one of these early. It's a really good, excellent tomato, really well balanced, sweet and tangy, which is what I tend to like. Loud flavor. I really, really liked this one. I think it topped out at, I think it was around between 3 and 4 feet. Really, really great variety.
All right. My next one is Copper River.
Ooh, I've been wanting to grow that
Oh,
one.
oh, and I picked it was because it was just the most unique all around. Unique looking,
Okay.
big large slicer, a very unique taste. Like I really had trouble
Ooh.
describing it. I had trouble describing it. Very very pungent
How
and
have I
just
not grown this? This is so my kind of tomato.
it really really is. It kind of reminds me see, mine doesn't quite look as bright as, I mean, the outside doesn't look bright green like that. My outside looks sort of like the other ones that are like tan with like weird green splotching all over it.
So this one's kind of greenish, and then you go here, and they're kind of
That's
like,
what mine look like.
okay,
Yeah, not that total green. Yeah, that right there was my
beautiful.
tomato. Just gorgeous. I was so excited when I saw it on the
They
vine. I
are
was like,
pretty.
oh.
This
And then
was,
when you cut it open, it is that bright green.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
It is a good tomato.
This was developed by Lynn Brown in Napa Valley, California.
Yep.
Add that to my list, my friend.
Okay.
I should be keeping a tally from you here.
I'll just add all of mine to your list and you just add all yours to my list. Okay.
You probably have all of mine.
I do not. I think I've had like 2 of what you've talked about so far.
Well, I think as we get higher, you'll have them. This was fantastic. I did a row of all Cherokees this year. I did purple, Cherokee green, Cherokee purple bicolor. I feel like I'm missing one. And Cherokee lime stripes. This was fantastic.
I grew this one. Yeah,
And I
it was
know, I don't know if Olivia is watching tonight. I know she's away, but she loved this one too. Our friend Olivia from the group. This was a really flavorful tomato. Of course, I love the looks. This is so my kind of tomato, but it's really sweet, but also, that tanginess that I like that kind of makes you pucker a little bit, but not too much. Loved this. Production was great, beautiful. They were big. Plants produced a lot, so I loved Cherokee lime stripes. I think it was a late addition that I kind of added in. I tend to find myself like accidentally adding seeds to soil at the end of the season.
Whoops, it just fell in there.
So yeah, so it was a little bit
That's
later.
actually a good thing. I think that's going to be one of my lessons if we get to them.
That is one of my lessons. Yeah.
All right, my next one was Big Yellow Zebra. I'm sorry, were you done talking about yours?
I just wanted to
Okay.
put Andy Mary said we loved Cherokee lime stripes. And Julie says Copper River is a favorite.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And
I
my
like Cherokee. I
place,
grew Cherokee lime stripes this year too, and it was a heavy producer. It
yeah.
was just, lots. I only had one plant, but it seemed like I was getting like 30, 40 tomatoes off of that one plant.
Yeah, it was really good for us too. My happy places, I can't wait to grow Purple Rain this year. Okay, go.
All right. Number 3 was Big Yellow Zebra.
Big Yellow Zebra.
It beautiful.
Yeah.
It had the most beautiful outside to it. It was like this bright yellow and then even brighter yellow, like zebra stripes to it. And then on those stripes, it almost looked like there was glitter in them.
Ooh.
It was
That's beautiful.
It's a lot more gorgeous than that picture, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So but like it was one of the ones that if I have like a table full of tomatoes, that was the one your eye would just kind of be drawn to it. It was really pretty. And my daughter, she would always pick that one out to eat. Heavy producer, really good flavor too for like a yellow tomato. Like sometimes the yellow ones, yellow white, are just kind of blah. And
totally agree.
Not that one.
No, that's
really
add that
really
to the
good.
list too, because when I see yellows and stuff on people's lists for trades and stuff, I tend to pass them by because of that reason. Although pork chop was pretty good this year.
Oh yeah, pork chop's a good one.
But Big Yellow Zebra, I just noticed is a Brad Gates. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh yes, that's right. That was a Brad Gates. All the really gorgeous tomatoes that I grew, like they're Brad Gates.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's several in my 25, and like when I was looking them up, I'm like, yep, another Brad Gates. Yep,
he does create some beautiful
very pretty
tomatoes, as does Karen Olivier with her,
yes,
her hearts. She specializes in hearts, and the Karma Miracle, which I showed. She's very talented also. And the
I
next,
have one of hers in my top 25 too.
do you?
I do.
You're not going to give it away, though. You're going to make it.
No.
No. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Watch Jen's channel, Jen Joy. You will find out which Karen Olivier variety makes the top 25. This is sort of relating to Karen Olivier and also to gifted breeders. This is probably it might be the top new one. No, second top new one. Captain Lucky, which is a Millard Murdoch variety. He's a very gifted breeder as well. I say it's relating to Karen because Karen, I know, uses Captain Lucky for a lot of her crosses, including, many of the hearts you see Taiga, if that's the correct pronunciation. I believe even Karma Miracle is a Captain Lucky cross. Could be wrong about that. This was, wow, what a tomato. So flavorful. This is on my forever grow list.
Really?
Yeah.
I grew that one this year, and I guess the plant just didn't do very well. I think I got two tomatoes.
Really?
Yes.
That's how my last year or when we first started the show, I asked you what your favorite tomato was of last year. You said Harvard Square.
Yes.
We grew Harvard Square. The plant was just never all that healthy, and it may have been affected by our early frost. I think we got 2 tomatoes. They weren't great. And so I told Rob, I'm like, this isn't it. Because if Jen says it's her favorite tomato, we can't go by this. So I may try it again next year. But
like if you I'm thinking I've got to grow this one again next year, because if you like it that much,
I think you have to.
Maybe I'll get seeds from I'll have to look and see if I got them from a trade, and then I'll just trade again from with a different person. Maybe sometimes you get seeds that from a tomato that maybe was diseased and they carried the disease. You don't know.
I've got seeds.
Oh, okay. Put that on my list.
Olivia Good, you are watching. So she loved Cherokee Lime Stripes. Hey, Olivia. Hope there will be a written list. I can't keep up. I will try to put that on my to-do list.
I'll show you my written list. It's right here when I'm done.
All right, what's next for you?
Okay, so we're down to the last 2. West Virginia straw. Of course, I like this one because
straw.
I'm from West Virginia. This one, I picked this one because it's like a pink slicer, kind of boring. I call them the boring looking ones because they have the color of the stuff that you can get in the store. But oh man, not flavor wise.
Really?
Whoa. It was if you like classic tomato flavor, that one is it. I loved it. I had several tomatoes that looked the same and were big slicers, but tasted like wet paper towels. This one was slap you in the face with classic tomato flavor. I loved it. And it was a heavy producer. Heavy. I think I picked 6 tomatoes off of it one time when I went over. And this one I grew in Materville.
This is averaging 3/4 to 1 pound.
Oh, I got bigger ones than that.
A man in West Virginia named Mr. Straw brought this tomato back with him after World War I in Germany.
Yeah. I got the seeds from Forgotten Heirlooms, Ken Fry.
Ah, good to know. Good to know.
Yep.
I'm still on the search for a good red that meets my requirements for flavor. We grew a ton of them this year. Curtis Cheek, I wanted to see if that lived up to the hype. It was okay. I mean, it was good. Don't get me wrong. It was good. I'm waiting for the, oh my God, red tomato, and I haven't found it yet.
That one's good. You might want to, well, it's more pink. I wouldn't say red, but pink.
Red, pink, same.
Pink, red.
I'll take a pink too. We did Stump of the World. We did German Johnson. We did, and they were good. And Curtis Cheek was good. There's nothing wrong with it, but it just wasn't great.
Is that the one that had 2 seeds per tomato?
Curtis?
Or am I thinking of a different one?
Allegedly, but my tomatoes got more seeds. They don't. They're not heavy on the seeds. That's for sure.
Okay, because I got
the one where he put it in his cheek and that whole thing.
Okay. Well, is that the one? Because I know there was one we talked about. I don't know if that's the one, but I remember I got 2 tomatoes, and both tomatoes had 2 seeds each, and I was just like, "What the heck?"
Oh, I don't think that was the one.
No, which one?
This doesn't have a lot of seeds, but it does have more than that.
I was disappointed. I was like, "How am I supposed to save seeds from this?" I could do half of a trade.
Yeah, that's how I was with a couple micros. Funny Plum Yellow was one of my favorites, and I had some fruits that if there was a seed in there, I couldn't find it. I'm not saying this one because it's ours, but I genuinely
It's
love this
good. It is
tomato.
good.
This is called, we named it Bananas Noir. It was an accidental cross that happened in our garden years ago, between Ananas Noir, black pineapple, and an unknown cherry. I have a feeling I know it's cherry, but I can't confirm. So the result is similar color to Ananas Noir, saladette sized, but very sweet, very
Very
sweet.
sweet. Mm-hmm.
I just started, if Malachite Jen's watching, she's the entire reason why I started giving out seeds this year. She approached me in the Baker Creek group, saw I posted a picture, asked for seeds, and I was like, oh, our Bananas Noir, that's kind of our thing. And now I give them out to everybody.
Now it's everybody's thing.
Now it's everybody's thing, yeah.
Because everybody wants seeds for it. It's good.
And you guys liked it, right?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it just did not want to produce for me at first.
Which is weird.
Then, I still didn't get a whole lot of production from it. I'm not sure why. I had one in the greenhouse, and then I had one down at the bottom of the hill in my yard. And I really didn't get a ton of tomatoes from the one in the yard, but the one in the greenhouse started to do pretty good. It actually grew up and out the window, and then
yeah, it gets tall. It gets like up to 9
It's
feet
a grower.
tall.
It's a grower. But yes, the ones that I got were so yummy. Oh,
Hydrangea Madness. If you're in our group, just hit me up. And if you're not, you can find me and hit me up. Oh man, I just got some Banana Snore in the stamp game yesterday. Can't wait to try it. Yeah, it's funny. I think Dorothy was giving away Banana Snore, which is neat. Goddess East, I would love some seeds for Banana Snore. I give them away freely, and I'm happy to do so. For me, besides being delicious and normally productive, it was my last one to die. That and Karma Miracle, I think, were my last ones to die. Did I pick more than 10? Why do I still have a couple to go? I'll just go quickly. Jarson 1 was another one I wasn't going to. Are you done, Jen, or did you do your
I got
final?
one more.
Oh,
I got one more.
Well, I'll do this and then you can go. Sorry. I was thinking you were done.
Yeah.
This is a cross between Great White and Kazula 25, I think, which I wouldn't have normally thought, especially with the Great White, and I'm not big on white tomatoes. I wouldn't have thought it was good tomato. Oh my gosh, they were huge.
Great White's a good white, though.
Is it?
It's a good white tomato.
All right. Yeah. Well, if this is any indication, if you can see from the picture, it's got this gloss to it. It's got a point at the bottom. Then you slice into it, and it's this gorgeousness and the flavor.
That is very
OMG. It was probably, I think it was my number 2 of the year. It was really delicious. Jarsons, I should add, besides them being an obsession of mine, I've learned that they're very, they're not necessarily stabilized. So the list I put out yesterday in TLC, you'll notice there's a lot of different versions of, like, now Tomato Eden has, I think, 3 or 4 different versions of Jarson 1.
Yeah, I saw that. I was just like, oh, she's going to have like all the versions of all the.
Oh, I do. But for me, it's part of the fun. As long as I know the cross, it's exciting to see what happens.
Which version will you get?
Yeah, I recommend you guys get into Jarsons if this is your kind of thing. For me, it's definitely my kind of thing. I loved Jarson 1 more than the one I thought I was going to love even more, the 18-3. So yeah, loved it. All right, what's last on your list?
Abraham Green.
Which I think is a Millard Murdoch, right?
Yeah, he did Abraham Green and Abraham Brown. And don't be confused by the name. It has no relation to Abraham Lincoln or Abe Lincoln. That's a heirloom tomato, and it's not related to these two. But yeah, Miller Murdoch. Wow, I really love this green. Like in the taste test video, I enjoyed it. And then as the season went on and the more I tasted them, it was my favorite. It was so good. It's sweet and really tangy. Again, a slap you in the face green flavor. Like, there were some greens that I tried that weren't great, but there's a lot of greens that were, but this was by far my favorite. Huge producer, produced all the way to the end of the season. Like, I was still getting some even when it was like really cold, but of course they never really taste as good as the ones in the summertime. They get hit by all that heat. But it's is a good plant, good producer. I loved it.
You know what's so crazy is that, from the first day we met, I made it clear that green when ripes are like my favorite. And you've got so many in your top 10, and I didn't grow a single one. Isn't that weird?
It is weird. What's wrong?
Well, that's going to change next year.
You're gonna have to correct that.
It says that this is, of course, Miller Murdoch, which we mentioned, but it's a accidental crossing of one of his other varieties, Black Magic, and an unknown variety. And I've got Black Magic waiting to be planted next year too. Yeah. He's got some good stuff.
He does. I liked Abraham Brown too. It didn't make my top 10, but
really, because I've got no. So this was better, huh?
Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, people who are averse to green when ripe, they're missing out.
Oh, they really are. I have so many patients that I talk to because, of course, while I'm cleaning their teeth, they can't talk, so I talk to them about my tomatoes, and I'll say something about green when ripe, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" There's so many people that don't know that there are tomatoes that you can actually eat them when they're green, when they're ripe, like green when ripe. Right. They think that when I say a green tomato, that I'm talking about an unripe, fried green tomatoes. No.
And I think it's a psychological thing too. People think that they're biting into a unripe tomato.
Very well could be. Very well could be.
There's such flavor in not all green when ripes. I had a couple that weren't good, like you said. Yeah. But man, I'm finding a lot more flavor than the reds and the pinks.
Yes.
Delicious. Yeah. Haley, hi Haley, says, I've been trying to get Abraham green for weeks after hearing you talk about it, Jen. You better watch out for Seed Seeking Saturday tomorrow, my friend.
No.
And Sniper Cat. Abraham green is going in my garden next year.
Oh, yay.
Kenneth,
you'll love it.
Seeds for 2 of Lauren's and 2 of Jen's. I need more seeds. Don't we all? Never have enough seeds.
Yeah.
Just Olivia, I already have Jarson on your list, Olivia, that we've got going. And Cindy, Jarson one's coming all the way to the Philippines for you. Yeah, I need to grow that Abraham green. This one was from our very first Tomato Talk Live. I tasted it live on the air. Uptown Funk, which was one of my most anticipated because this is another malachite box cross with Berkeley pink tie-dye and also I think indigo rose in there. This is oh my gosh, why can't I think of his name? Blaine Horton. It's a Blaine Horton variety. So delicious. So delicious. I was wondering if like 2 positives would equal a better positive. I did like it. Rob agreed he liked it better than Berkeley pink tie-dye. And so, really? It really big producer. Beautiful, as you can see, this heart-shaped one down in the corner was really special. This is a special tomato, and I've given away a lot of these seeds too after our first.
I started some of those seeds that you gave me. I gotta say, I started these late. This one did not do that great for me. I mean,
really?
I got a handful of tomatoes, but it didn't start producing until the end of the season, and I think it got crowded by what was the other one that you gave me? The green one. Oh gosh, it was gigantic, and it had gigantic fruit on it, and it just climbed over this one, and I was just like, well, you don't have a fighting chance. So I'm gonna try and grow it again next year. And
maybe I'll send you seeds from my plant because these were really healthy.
Something
you did get you got the seeds from me. So
I got the seeds from you.
From whatever vendor I got it.
And you gave me green one. What was it? Something Verde. Oh, I can't remember.
Del Nerpio Verde.
Del Nerpio Verde. Yeah, my gosh, that thing just, I mean, it was all over the trellis, and then it climbed over into another bed. I was pulling tomatoes from climbing up a flower.
Did you get a lot of fruit? Because I didn't on mine.
From Del Nerpio Verde? Yeah.
Isn't that so funny?
It's so weird. Yeah.
So Uptown Funk, I was swimming in them happily. And Del Nerpio, well, first of all, one of the plants was affected by the late frost. So I had to come back. It just didn't produce a lot. It was good. What did you think of it?
Del Nerpio Verde? I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. So when I was going through and trying to pick my top 25, there was a whole bunch that got like, so this, I gave the ones that were definites a star. And then the ones that were like, I don't know, maybe a star and then a number 2 with a circle around it. Del Nerpio Verde had a 2 with a circle around it.
It was definitely towards
it
the top.
was a good one.
Yeah, but I wish there were more. Kristen, you're the second person to tell me this sweet red tomato variety must grow definitely bear claw. I have the seeds.
Yeah.
I've
got seeds for
heard
that too.
this too.
I got bear claw and then one called bear paw.
Yeah, and I get them
I don't know if they're
confused.
related or anything.
I need to get Jarson one. Hit me up, Wendy. Terry says, my granddaughter loves tomatoes. The green zebra was like I was tricking her.
I think I saw a comment in here that someone said, how do you tell when the
yeah, Dawn.
You touch them, give them a little squish.
Yeah.
And you can tell, like if you've touched a lot of ripe tomatoes, you'll be able to tell. Now, there are some green when ripe that have a real brilliant green color, but then there are some that you got to watch for because they have that color of a unripe tomato. And I missed a few of them this year. They sat on the vine until they started to rot because I kept thinking that they weren't ready and I didn't give them a little. I didn't do that. One was absinthe. One was Bellotto. Both of those, they look unripe. And I just, when you've got 200 tomato plants and you're walking by, you'll just walk right by that. But yeah, some of them, you just give them a little boop, boop, and you'll be able to tell.
Yeah.
And also, if you go to pull it off and it comes off easily, that's with a lot of things like berries and things like that. If you go to pull something off and it doesn't want to give, it's probably not quite ready.
Yeah. But you're right. The squeeze test, that's what I do too. And,
squeeze.
And many of them, you're right. There are some that just don't turn anything other than the brilliant green. Sometimes they lose their sheen though. They become a more matte color. And then a lot of them like this last, I must have put 11 in here. Still my number one favorite.
I think you put 12.
Malachite box. So you can tell this one actually turns a bit yellowish, and a lot of them do. A lot of them do. So not only the color, the squeeze, I mean, but sometimes the color will tell you. This still remains our reigning champion. Although things like Jarson won and Captain like it got a run for its money. Uptown Funk definitely our must grow list got much bigger this year because we only carry over like our top because there's so many more we want to grow. This is just, it's not the most gorgeous tomato in the world, that doesn't have the veining and all of that. I just think for me, the flavor, wow, it's just awesome.
I started seeds for that one, but nothing made it. So
nothing.
No Malachite box for me this year. Try again next year.
Try again next year.
I'm going to taste all the tomatoes there are. I will do it.
Yep. Me too. Me too. We need to live next door to each other so we can like,
I don't do any carryovers anymore. Like I don't have room for carryovers. I'm sorry.
Oh man, there's some I would just miss.
In my garden somewhere, so I'm not carrying over any good other. I gotta find all of the good ones, and then one year I'll have like 400 tomato varieties that are just all good, no bad.
Yeah, well,
because I've already, because I'll have already tasted everything.
So. I have to carry some over. There's some that are just, for me, they're just so good. So guess what?
What? It's like
after 8 o'clock.
Oh my
God. Michael says, let's build a TLC commune where we all live off of tomatoes. I love it.
Oh yeah, that would be so great. We'd never get anything done. We'd just all be talking and showing everybody the pictures of all of our tomatoes. Like, oh, look at this one, and then try this one.
we've got 60 people here with us live on a Friday night. Well, Friday night where we are. Patricia, where did I find seeds for Malachite box? I've grown it for several years, so I save the seeds. But if you're in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap, put it in for Seed Seeking Saturday. I'm sure somebody will be happy to give you seeds. There's many people that have those seeds too. So why don't we do, what do you think, Jen? How about next month we do lessons?
I'm down with that. I mean,
because there's a lot of comments.
I don't know how many people are watching that are like just starting their season, but for the two of us, we have quite a few months that we can talk about the lessons learned and still incorporate them into next season.
Should we say a couple at least, or we can do it now?
We could just very briefly just go over. I have like a whole.
Okay, yeah.
Let me see what are some of the good ones.
You've got a big one that I also agree with. We talked about yesterday.
I don't water my garden. Is that the one?
Well, no, but that's another one. We're together on this too.
We really didn't get a whole lot of rains this year, like big rains or anything like that. I think I watered my garden twice in the beginning just to get plants going. But after that, like if you see my garden, if you go to my YouTube channel and you see where my garden is placed, you'll know why.
There's no water anywhere near this
and it's down the side of a cliff. So like when I have to take the hoses, it's like a tightrope walking, like obstacle course, and I'm trying not to decapitate plants, and so I just forego it for the most part and just keep looking at the Weather Channel going, oh, please rain, please rain. Oh yes, there's rain that day. I'm not watering. So yeah. I don't water. I didn't water Materville either. Oh my gosh, they did really well. And then to add to that, I think this might be the one you're talking about.
Yes, it is. I know it is.
Last year I pruned the heck out of my tomatoes, and the disease set in like that and just took out. I didn't have very good, I mean, it was good because I grow so many, but it wasn't that great. This year, because I did like 2 to 3 times more, I think it was 3 times more tomato plants than I've ever done. I couldn't prune. I pruned like the bottom leaves, and then after that I was like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
And they did great. Like there was barely any disease. There was a few plants that got disease very quickly, but I'm thinking that the seeds carried the disease with them.
Maybe.
Because it was just like contained to that one plant, and it just like did sick and died, and then everything around it did just fine. So I think that maybe, at least in my experience this year, touching your plants a lot, you can actually transfer disease. So those ones that just get the disease and die off, if you prune that one and then you don't clean your hands, which I try to do, take alcohol and wipe my hands off. But, with 450 plants, I was just like, not going to do it. So you go and you touch other plants and you carry that disease. And I mean, a lot of times, like I'd come out of Materville and I was just covered in tomato tar. Like, so me reaching in, I could have had disease like on my upper arm, and so I just didn't mess with my plants, and they did great. And I know some people like prune the heck out of their plants. Like you look and you see like just the stem and the tomatoes, and then there's no foliage.
Yeah.
And I know some people will say foliage is overrated, but I also think that transferring disease is underrated. Yeah. And I think that might be what I did last year. I just took one disease from one plant and gave it to all the rest. And
maybe.
I'm not going to prune.
Some people do like the single stemming for space reasons. They want to plant a lot of plants. So like James Trigioni on the gardening channel.
I think I plant mine a foot apart. I didn't.
We did the same thing this year, and we grew probably half, if that, of what you grew. We grew a couple hundred tomatoes, and oops, my grow lights are on a timer. That was also serving as my backlighting. I guess it's getting late. My lettuce is telling me, woman, it's time to go. We have single stemmed in the past, and then this year Rob built us 2 new beds, and we had intended on it, except for we were going to prune the heck out of. Rob really wants that 2-pound tomato, which we still didn't get close, but not so big. Zach, he wanted to prune heavily and just keep a couple fruits on to get it. We still didn't get it. But so, it was time for us too. And I will tell you that in our beds, especially one of my tips is that the 2 new raised beds that Rob built, we got a topsoil mushroom compost mix. And I am telling you, I talk about Fox Farm Ocean Forest being tomato crack. This mushroom compost, I have no doubt in my mind, is tomato crack. We had so much production, like our Cherokee purples through the roof. Everything in those beds was through the roof with production. But also we didn't prune because there just wasn't really time, and it did not affect production. It did not affect the size. I mean, that Jarson 18-3 you guys saw of my head, totally unpruned plant, completely.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, that's another thing I learned. I don't know that pruning affects this. It might a little bit. But I don't know because there were some plants I didn't prune any. And like, what was it? Jane Judy's Clark
Oh
family
yeah.
heirloom.
Yep.
That one had, oh my golly, like so many tomatoes. And they
Yeah.
were all these giant tomatoes. So many. And I didn't prune it. And the plant fell over. I think it broke in half and it's healed itself. And like, but it was just like, a huge. I was like, wow, that's a sturdy plant right there.
Yeah. I just got those from Jim Wyatt.
But
It looks good.
yeah, Jim Wyatt. He's got some really cool heirlooms.
Yeah.
But I used the mushroom soil at Materville too. Like that's what I did. I just made Materville. I put down garden soil, and then on top of that, a big like 2-inch thick layer of mushroom compost on top of that. And at first, I didn't think that Materville was going to do all that great because new gardens, everything kind of messed up. The microbes and stuff. We're still trying to figure stuff out, but I don't know, something about that mushroom compost. Just they did great. Like I think Materville did better than my garden. I use mushroom compost in that, but I haven't put like a fresh layer in it for a couple years. But I think I might now because
it's great. I think we'll do fresh again next year. And along the same lines, another one of my tips is this year we started using mycorrhizal fungi.
Yeah.
When we were taking from the seedling grow bags, which we use and planting in the ground, I rubbed the roots with this powdered mushroom powder, mycorrhizal fungi. And there's no way to really know. I just know we had a great season as far as production of tomatoes. I know Ken Fry talks about the mycorrhizal fungi too. It's kind of the it thing. But I just think mushrooms in general, that compost there's no question that things did great because of that.
Mushrooms are like gold.
They are.
And I see so many more mushrooms popping up all over my yard and garden. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I know. I'm like the same way.
That means you got good soil. If you've got mushrooms, you've got good soil. I mean, have you ever walked through a forest? You see all different kinds of mushrooms everywhere. Yeah. It's because the forest, like the leaves fall down, they decompose, they're constantly feeding the ground. It's good stuff. And so mushrooms like good soil. And if you see mushrooms, smile.
I think it was a series of podcasts that Kevin from Epic Gardening put out, his podcast, The Beat. I think it was a week, like he does these 15-minute podcasts, I think 5 days a week. And there was a whole big thing on mushrooms just a couple months ago. And he was talking about the benefits of it. He had some kind of mushroom expert on. And
you were talking about the micro, I don't know how to say it.
I think it's mycorrhizal fungi, but I could be wrong.
You say, okay. That it's like some sort of in the dirt, like it creates some sort of like connections to everything. Like I think I was listening to something about that. Like it connects the plants. I don't know, but it's like it was very interesting to listen to about how it connects. The root systems, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's supposed to be good for the root system, but that's about as scientific as I get. Since we'll end soon, I promise, but and we still have to do giveaways and stuff too. But since I see maybe I got time wrong. I see Malachite Jen just joined us, tuned in at 5. For some reason I thought Pacific didn't have the time difference, but we did. So I thought it was 2-hour time difference. So if I steered you wrong, Jen, I'm sorry. So anyway, if you're just joining us, you still have a chance to win. Just type in hashtag I was going to say gratitude again. Hashtag tomatoes.
That's your other show.
That's my other show. Hashtag tomatoes, and you can win. We've got some Fred Hempel varieties. So what other lessons do you have there?
Well, one I think that's fun is that I started using, I guess it started last year, using my tomatoes as currency. So I grew this year, definitely. I grew so many tomatoes. I gave away to my neighbors. I took them to work or whatever. But like my neighbors, I send out an email. I live in like a development, and I send out an email to everyone asking everyone for their like fall decorations, hay bales, corn stalks, bagged leaves. And I say, drop them off in my yard, and I have compost piles out the wazoo. And so I'm like, you give me your trash and I will give you delicious tomatoes. So
Win-win. It's a
use,
win-win.
use your extra stuff and you can get trash.
Kristen says the mushroom compost I got from Lowe's was hit or miss. It was either great or rock hard clumps. That's too bad.
Yeah. I get mine from, it's called Eebee's. And it's a place where you can get mulch, rocks. They have a garden center.
That's where I got mine.
Yeah,
not Eebee's, but a similar place.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Like when you have it dropped off and you get a whiff of that, you're like, "Whoa, that's good stuff."
I know, and I'm out in the boonies. There isn't a lot around me, and I was calling everywhere, like everywhere to try to fill these beds. And then the place we found this great. First of all, most of these places wouldn't deliver to us, but then it was only like 10, 15 minutes away, and they called it their John Adams mix. And it was
cool.
Screened topsoil and mushroom compost. And if you look out there right now, there's mushrooms. Well, there was before the frost, so maybe they're not there anymore. But yeah, really good stuff. Richard says, I've used alpaca manure tea and chicken manure to great success with irises. Wonder how it would work for tomatoes.
Probably well, because that's a cold manure, so you can put it directly in your garden. Like some manures you can't, like chicken manure, horse and cow. I don't think you can put that, but like rabbit and alpaca manure, you can put those directly in your garden. I have a pet rabbit, so I use her butt gold in my garden. But I work for a dentist, and he had a couple alpacas, but because I live so far away, because I live like an hour and 15 minutes from where I work. I couldn't be like, I'm gonna bring my truck and get some of your alpaca poop. But I was just so like, you have alpacas? I want their poop.
Tell me about your alpacas, but really tell me about their poop.
Yeah, their poop.
We used donkey manure because my friend has a farm, and it's kind of hard to find stuff online about donkey manure. So
is it cold or hot?
I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. We used it. There wasn't a whole lot of it, but we did put it in, and our plants were okay. So I don't know what it was, but I'm like, hey, poop. It's got to be good, but maybe not.
Yeah, you got to watch. You don't want to put the hot poop on there.
Well, if you say horse, and alpaca is hot, so donkey's got to be too. So maybe.
I would guess, but then I didn't know that alpaca poop was cold until somebody told me. They're like, oh, you can put that directly on your garden. It's a cold manure. I'm like, really? Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think there's not very many manures that are cold that you can put directly. But rabbit and alpaca, I know those two you can put directly.
All right. Good to know.
Now I got to figure out about donkey. Not that I have any donkeys.
Well, now it's too late. So we may get it for next year. Pax's Places, no one in my area carries mushroom compost.
Oh, that's a bummer.
We got very lucky.
Well, start growing your own mushrooms.
Amanda says fungus plants your magic. You know what I do with I cook with a lot of mushrooms and shiitakes. You can't cook with the stem. I save the stems and I throw it out in the compost.
Yeah, there you go.
Cheryl says there's a mushroom farm in Oklahoma that sells compost. You want that. Michael says poop talk live. That's a whole other episode. We should do an episode about poop. I think Vermont mixes mule manure. Interesting. All right, we should give away some prizes.
Okay.
All right.
So I don't want to stop. No.
I know. Me neither. So if you're just joining us, we did a dedication earlier in the show to Fred Hempel of Artisan Seeds, who we found out just last week that he passed away on October 31st. He was a real giant in the world of tomatoes. He gifted us with many wonderful varieties. So Jen and I are each giving away some seeds, and then we had a very generous donor who is also giving away. Maybe we could do those first. So let me show you. This is one of his newer varieties called a.k.a.
Ooh,
which translates to King of Stripes, which is what Fred Hempel was. He was the King of Stripes. So we're giving this away to 3 winners, and so these are
that's so cool. Thank you to the person that donated those. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you to our
so kind
our donor. Very, very nice. So let's let me see, where's the screen? Share, present. You'd think I'd never done this before. Okay, here we go. So unfortunately, this program doesn't take out the person who won. So if I redraw your name second, third time, I'm going to do it again. Everybody can win just once. So this is for, we're going to give away 3 different packs of the a.k.a. Right now, hard to find, open pollinated, not an F1 because he does F1s also. Tomato by the late Fred Hempel. So good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
It's so awesome seeing so many of you.
I know, it's so
Night.
fun.
Amanda
Woo,
Pittman. Congratulations, Amanda.
Yay.
If you guys are in the group, if you can private message me or Jen, and we'll make sure those seeds get to you. That's really special. And he was very proud of this variety. Of course, I'm sure he's proud.
I can see why. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. All right. Next one for a.k.a. Malachite Jen. I may have steered you wrong with the time, possibly, but you won these wonderful seeds from Fred. Yeah, just in time, Jen. Sorry, Jen. I did refer
That's okay.
to you.
You can rewatch it later.
You can watch it later, and I did name drop you a few times for something or other. But Malachite Jen is, oh, I know why, because I talked about giving away Bananas Noir seeds and how you were the first person that pulled me out of my seed giving shell with Bananas Noir. All right, so
thank you for that, Jen.
And we both love Malachite Box, which is why I call her Malachite Jen. All right, last one for a.k.a. Dana Smith.
Oh, yay,
congratulations.
Dana.
You can contact either Jen or I.
Congratulations.
We'll be sure to get those to you. Congratulations. Right, which I pulled out some of my Fred varieties because I forgot what you were giving away. Which
I got mine all ready to go.
Of course you do.
Packaged up. I've got blush, orange jazz, and pink jazz, purple, and sunrise bumblebee. So there's 5 varieties in here.
3, 4. Okay, I'm good. All right, so that we'll give away your package next. So say it one more time. Which ones?
Blush, orange, and pink jazz, and then purple and sunrise bumblebee.
Beautiful. We grew sunrise. Oh, I was going to show. Do I have the picture?
I love all the bumblebees. All of them.
Oh, I thought I'd have the picture of sunrise. I guess I forgot to put it in. Yeah, we grew sunrise bumblebee, and I didn't think it was going to be as great as it was. It was really great.
Oh, it's great.
So all right.
I had one pop up in my compost pile.
Oh yeah.
I let it go. I was just like, I didn't grow it. Like I didn't actually start seeds for it. And then I saw it come up in my compost pile, and you can tell by the shape and like the striping on it. And I was just like, oh, that's sunrise bumblebee.
Yeah, his bumblebees are popular and for good reason. All right, let's give away Jen's pack. Sherva, congratulations. Awesome.
I already have your address.
All right, so I have to figure out mine here. So I've got, I shared before that I grew this variety, Benevento, which is his F1. He created this to give the consumer the heirloom taste and look, but have something with a better shelf life. So not consumers, stores can sell it and give it to people who don't necessarily grow heirlooms. And it was delicious.
Doesn't taste like store-bought.
Right. And so these are an F1. So I actually had just placed an order with Artisan and only got it, a couple days prior to learning about his death. So I have this year's seeds for Benevento. I have Lucky Bee, which is one of his cherries. It's also an F1, and it's 2024 seeds as well. Let's see, I'm narrowing
it down. That's green,
here.
right? Is that a green one?
Lucky Bee? I think it might be. I haven't grown that one yet. I think it might be. I have, here it is, Pink Tiger, which we grew this year. A cherry, this is not an F1. Really great little cherries, very productive and delicious. That's how many is that? 1, 2, 3. Lucky Tiger and Pink Tiger, which I don't have. No, I already did Pink Tiger. No, Lucky Tiger and Benevento Marmo, which is his another F1 that's a yellow bicolor stripe one. I meant to get the pictures. Anyway, these are all 20. The F1s are all 24 seeds. So that is my package. I promise you will get them. I'm just unsure. I meant to have them pulled aside and forgot was given away. So thank you, Fred Hempel, for all your wonderful varieties.
Yes, thank you.
Jerry, our friend Jerry. Congratulations, Jerry. And congratulations to all the winners. You can contact us.
Oh, we can't see who won.
Oh, I didn't put it up.
No.
Jerry, you won. Did I forgot to put that up on the
Jerry.
screen?
I was like, is that Jerry Gray?
Oh,
I was like, what are you talking about?
That's
I
such
thought,
a
I was like, looking at the comments. Did you just join? Woohoo!
I forgot to put the
love
drawing up.
Jerry,
It was
awesome.
wonderful in anticipation. I will tell you that. Yeah, I must have forgot.
I was like, what is she?
I was wondering why there's no reaction.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, wait a minute. Did he say something in the comments? I was like, oh no, he's the winner.
I'm a hot mess, but at least
it's okay. I'm here to help.
We're hot messes together.
Yeah.
Congratulations to everybody, and
yes, congratulations.
Thank you all for watching. We announced last month that from now on, our shows are always going to be the first Friday of the month. And that will be, I didn't even look at the date for December, but
December, the first Friday, whatever that date.
December 1st Friday, yeah. And we've got a couple future guests lined up. Nothing confirmed yet for December, but we will let you know. It's December 1st.
Oh, is it December 1st?
It is.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and many of you know, I've run another group for 9 years for people with chronic pain. It's called Attitude of Gratitude with Chronic Pain. November is the month of gratitude. And here in the US, we celebrate Thanksgiving. It's the national month of gratitude. So I would just like to express my gratitude to all of you. And I know I can speak for Jen too, but you're right here.
Absolutely.
I'm grateful to you, Jen, for meeting you this year. I can't even believe it hasn't been a year yet.
I know.
I'm grateful for the tomato world for just being amazingly generous. Our group, which wasn't planned, happened from a bad situation.
I'm incredibly grateful for you for starting that group.
Well, I'm grateful to you for helping me. But happened out of a really lousy situation, but it turned out to be just the most wonderful thing for you guys who are so supportive and who, watch Jen's channel, are in the group, watch our show for an hour and a half on a Friday night.
We just can't help ourselves.
I'm just grateful for the tomato community is really wonderful.
Yes.
I'm grateful for this show.
Yes. I am very, very grateful for the show. I get so excited for it.
Me too. And for tomatoes, we're grateful for tomatoes.
Oh my gosh. That goes without saying.
Yeah. So thank you, all of you. We will see you December 1st. Don't forget to join our group if you're not a member.
Yes, please.
I see some new names. Let me just pull it up once again. It's called Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. No pressure to do anything. We offer lots of different things during the week where you can grow your collection of seeds. It's open for beginners, for tomato growing curious people, and experts alike. And there's no looking down on anybody for being a beginner. We love to help each other.
Yeah, because you got to start somewhere.
Right.
And it doesn't take you long to get from beginner to crazy psycho collector.
I know. Disclaimer, you will turn into crazy psycho collector.
Yeah.
Thank Olivia. Thank you, Olivia. Great. We're grateful to have you. Love you, ladies. Love you too, Dana. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Nicole,
Yes,
so fun to hang out with you guys. I'm very grateful for you both. Thank you all so much. And with that, I guess we'll see you next month, December 1st. Happy Thanksgiving to those of you in the US celebrating. And I love you, Jen.
I love you too. And enjoy your day, everyone.
And peace, love, and get your gratitude on. Bye, gang. See you next month.